All right, hi everybody. So right now it is almost 4 o'clock where I'm at. Um, in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning, and I stayed up last night because I wanted to watch Arcane like immediately as it came out. And yeah, okay. So this video, first of all, this video is going to be completely unscripted. It's not going to be like my normal content. I just wanted to get out my thoughts on Act 3. I actually didn't originally want to make this video or talk about it, but I was just gonna go to bed and then talk about start writing my next video in the morning. But there's just there's so much that happened in Act 3 that I need to get it off my chest. I tried to sleep. I finished watching Arcane like an hour ago, and I tried to sleep, but I literally couldn't sleep. I just couldn't stop thinking about Arcane, and I thought maybe, hey, okay, so if I talk about it, maybe I can get some stuff off my chest and I can actually get some sleep. So that's uh that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so now that that's done, wow, there's a lot that happened. uh, I I think that the relationship that Silco and Jinx had was a lot more complex than I thought I gave I gave credit to in the past. I saw it like Silco just wanting to abuse Jinx and like use her, but I think that's I think that's what Silco saw in Powder, not really Jinx. I think that he saw more in Jinx like something perfect because Jinx was like in Jinx, Silco saw a little bit of himself, rejected by an older sibling. For Silco, that was Vander, and for Jinx, it was Vi. Rejected by someone that they thought would support them. And so like by the end of Act One, like the ending scene of Act One, where Silco holds Jinx or Silco holds Powder in his arm, it's like and says like we will show them. That's like, yeah, of course you will show them, because like this is what they did to you, this is what the world did to you. Like, so I think that Silco saw in himself saw a little bit of himself in Powder. um and I think that I didn't really catch on to that until Act 3. I think Act 3 made that idea much more prevalent, but like, now that I'm thinking about all the scenes between Silco and Powder, I see like a scene between a father and a child. Sorry, not Silco and Powder, Silco and Jinx, because Silco sees Jinx as like he sees himself in Jinx, and he says that Jinx is perfect, right? Like the Jinx is the reaction to like burn everything down, and to like strive towards power. I don't really know, like I don't have the words to describe it, but like Jinx is perfect, and like Jinx is a perfect daughter for Silco, and but Powder isn't. I don't know. There's just a lot to unpack there. Like that. Can we talk about the ending scene for a second? Like, I wanted so badly. I wanted so badly for Jinx, for Powder, for Powder and Vi to like have a happy ending, but I just ah, man, it hurts so much thinking about it. Oh man, that hurts so much. Well, when when Jinx sat down on that chair, like labeled with her name, oh man, that hurts so much. Oh, that hurts so much. Like I you get the sense that like Jinx is so far too far gone. Like I'm trying to think like when what caused like this Jinx, like what caused Jinx to be too far gone was when Silco like took her into into Singe's like lab, and Singe says, "Are you ready to lose her?" And you know, I think at that point, Powder dies. Oh, man, it hurts to say because I love Powder so much, but I think at that point, Powder dies and Jinx is born. Um, oh, man. Like, I think Powder's last act. Oh, was to blow up Marcus. Oh man, what does that mean for her character? That was literally her last act. Oh man, okay, so I'm thinking about it now, and the last glimpses we see of Powder is her screaming on like the operation table, and then everything after that, she's Jinx. I wasn't paying attention to the subtitles, but at some point, or maybe across all of Act 3, every time that Powder speaks, it's Jinx. Like, Jinx is the person that the subtitles, like, state. Oh, oh man, that hurts so much. I mean, I think I heavily misinterpreted, not heavily, I think I left out an important part of Silco and Jinx's relationship in my Jinx analysis video, where she lights the flare. Um, like Silco doesn't want to abuse Jinx. He like actually cares for her, and like sees her as his own daughter. Like obviously he has the wrong vision for her. Like what Silco wants for Jinx isn't what Jinx needs, right? But he still cares for her. And when Silco is like talking to the statue of Vander, the fountain, um like Silco's contemplating whether or not he should give Jinx away, and then in the end, he says that he wouldn't have given Jinx away. He wouldn't have done that. Um and so like if anything, that reaffirms that Silco is somebody who like actually cares for Jinx. Um like as a daughter. In the same way that Vander cared for Vi and Powder. Man, there's so much to unpack. Oh man, I'm a mess. Okay, let's talk about Jace and Mel for a little bit. So in my Jace analysis video, I said that Mel represented greed, right? But I think that her backstory that was revealed in Act 3 made her a much more complicated character than I was giving her credit for. So like she was born in Noxus, and like she knew what war was, right? And she wanted to achieve a status in life that didn't have to deal with war. She wanted to get as far away from war as possible because like her mother forced her to make like harsh decisions and showed her the reality of like warmongering culture, Noxian culture, and like you have to kill like these innocent people. And Mel wanted nothing to do with that. And when she got sent to Piltover, I feel like she's abandoned from her family, and so she wants to make a name for herself, like just to spite them, right? And I'm not saying that like I'm not justifying her greed, and her manipulation. I'm just saying I understand it. Like I understand why she's the way that she is. Like she's not as dark of a character as I as I like imagined her as, and as Acts 1 and 2 portrayed her as. Like obviously she's still manipulative. I'm not denying that. But I'm just saying I understand why that's the way that she is. Man. Like and there's that one scene where Mel's mom is telling her that she'll bring Mel back to Noxus, and like on Mel's painting there's like a boat, and Mel's mom is like on the boat, and Mel is sitting on the like on the couch that looks like a boat, right? I'll try to put a picture on screen if I can find it. But like, my gosh, that is a beautiful scene. Um, let's talk about Jace and Victor now. Yeah. Okay, so Jace. Oh man, dude, when Jace saved Victor's life, that just put a smile on my face, man. That put a smile on my face. Like Victor was about to end it all, and Jace comes in and he goes, "Am I interrupting?" Mirroring the same, mirroring. Sorry, sorry. Um, Mirroring what Victor did to save him, and as Jace in Act One, Jace is at his lowest point, and he gets saved by Victor, somebody who sees the potential in him. And as Victor is at his lowest point, Jace saves him. Jace sees it, like the potential in Victor, like those parallel scenes. Man, it's just really good. It's really, really, really good. Um, man, uh, when Victor was running across the pier, and like he doesn't start shouting. He shouts like once, like a shout of like anger against the world, not anger, but like relief. Um, I don't really know the right word for it, but it's just like it's like the shout of like take that world. Like I'm a cripple from the Undercity. Like and I came to Piltover and I was still a cripple and I'm dying and I was losing my life and now with this hex core I've fixed my leg and I'm running and then he just lets out that scream of like pain and it's just like take that world, look what I did, look what I did with what you gave me. Like that scene hit hard for me as well. Another scene that made me cry was when Heimerdinger was roaming the streets of Zon, and he comes across like a little girl, and the little girl like the little girl gives Heimerdinger the bolts, right? And she's like rummaging through the trash, and she sees Heimerdinger, and instead of taking the bolts for himself, she gives the bolts to Heimer. And oh, man, dude, because Heimer's been walking through the streets and he's like rejected, and like everybody just like looks down on him, and then like this little girl, this symbol of innocence, like walks up to him and shows him that there are still good people in Zon, and shows the audience that there are good people in Zon and that they don't deserve all of this, right? And that all the discrimination that Heimer like experienced just like 30 seconds ago from the scene, like all that is a product of material conditions. Like there is still good in Zon. It's just that they don't have the resources that Piltover has. That scene was really good, man. That scene made me cry. That scene made me cry a lot. It was a small gesture, but like it hit hard. um okay, Echo now. I don't think that anyone was surprised when the leader of the Firelights took off his mask and Echo was there. Or maybe there were a few people that were surprised. I can't speak for other people, but I can speak for myself. Like, there's no way that writers would just like present a character in season one, or sorry, in Act One, and then like not have that character present, especially when they're an actual champion in League of Legends. Like, to me, I feel like it was that the Firelight leader being Echo. I feel like that was obvious, or at least it was to me. Um, there was a point in time where Echo enters like the Firelight home, and he comes in with Heimer, and everybody's like chanting, and he says something along the lines of like, you can't just give people what they need to survive, you need to give people what they need to live. And wow, like, wow, is that a powerful line? like Echo provided that for so many people. That's who Echo is. Like, he gave that. He gave people not just the opportunity to survive, but also the opportunity to live. I mean, like, I got a lot of respect for Echo there. And that hit hard as well. And I'm not sure if it's intentional, but like, people literally like playing on the trees. I feel like that that's an allusion to Yggdrasil, the world tree in Norse mythology. I haven't made any connections yet, and I don't know if it's just like a coincidence or whatever. I have to look if there's more evidence that like further pushes the idea of it being Yggdrasil. But like that's the idea that I got when I like first looked at the like safe haven that Echo created. Let's see. What else is there? Oh man, Caitlyn and Vi. Jesus. Like, never have I wanted video game characters before, or like characters in a show before to like be together. Like, holy moly. Like, every scene that they were in, I was just like, please, please, like, be together in the end. And like, at least that's like the one satisfying thing that we got at the end. In the ending of like all of this chaos, it's just Caitlyn and Vi holding each other up. As like Jinx fires the rocket into the Piltover Council. Oh my god, Jinx fired a rocket into the Piltover Council, man. They were calling for peace. They were gonna have peace. And Jinx, like, oh man, Jinx jinxes it all. She jinxes it all, man. I think that this kind of mirrors, like, the ending of Act 3 kind of mirrors the ending of Act 1. In the sense that, like, everything was going fine. Like, everything was, like, bright. Like, a great future was up ahead. And then Jinx comes in and, like, throws a wrench in all of that. Because in Act 1, like, Claggor was, like, breaking through the wall. They were escaped. Vander was free of his chains. Milo, like, undid everything. And they were about to escape. And then Jinx's bomb, like, it like starts spiraling everything down. Like, and in Act 3, I feel like it's the same thing. Like, Jace negotiated peace with Silco. And everything was going to be fine. And then Jinx, she literally fires a rocket into the head of Piltover. Man, like, I thought there wasn't going to be peace before, but now there definitely isn't going to be any peace between Piltover and Zaun. Dang. Like, dude, the ending of Act 3 just left me wanting more. Like, there's no way it ends there, right? Like, what happens to the council? Who survives? Is Caitlyn's mom okay? What about Mel? Like, what about the future of Noxus and the future for war in general? Like, what happened to Victor? What's our resolution for Victor? How's Jace going to cope with the fact that, like, he built these weapons and, like, it's inevitable that Hextech's going to be used for war? What's Heimerdinger's reaction going to be to all of this? Like, there's so many things that are unresolved. It's just like, it can't end there, right? It can't end there. Like, I knew that they were going to keep some things open, right? Because if Arcane gets successful enough, then, which it is, like, Arcane is incredibly successful. If Arcane gets successful enough, then they're definitely making a season 2. But I did not expect them to leave, like, everything open, man. I just want more. I was like, I finished it and I was like, that's it? There's no way that's it, right? There's no way that's it. And that was it. That was it. Oh, I don't know. There's so much that needs to be resolved. There's so much to think about. That ending hurt me a lot, though. that ending really hurt me. Dude, that ending when Jinx and Silco are talking, and Silco tells Jinx not to cry, that she's perfect. He's talking to Jinx and not Powder. Oh, and then Jinx like takes those words to heart, and she fires that rocket into the council of Piltover, into literally the figurehead, the authorities of Piltover. And then Caitlyn and Vi are just like looking at that rocket, like waiting to see if it hits, not knowing what the future is going to be like. Much like the audience, not knowing what the future is going to be like. Like, give me some sort of resolution. Please give me some sort of resolution. There has to be like another episode coming out, right? Even if it's just one, just like tie any of these loose ends up. There's so many loose ends that need tying up. Yeah, so yeah, that was this unstructured video. No script, anything. It's just me getting my thoughts out at 4 a.m, so that I can go to sleep with at least expressing my thoughts in an empty mind. Yeah. Wow. All right. I mean, if you're listening this far, thanks for listening, everybody. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you want more, obviously, if you want more Arcane analysis. Until then, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.